Hi, everyone. Welcome to your virtual lessons for Thursday and Friday. We are going to wrap up our lesson on political cartoons today and are creating our Henry VIII political cartoon that you started on Wednesday, August 26th. So this is Miss Considine. We're just going to do a little quick refresher of what a political cartoon is. Then I will move into how to write your yes ma'am justification for your political cartoon, and then we will wrap it up. So it's just going to be a short little intro lesson today, so you'll have lots of time to work on your political cartoon. I'm going to share my screen with you now. All right, so what is a political cartoon? That's the question we talked about on our Wednesday lesson. And we said, okay, we know what cartoons are. Those are animated things, they're drawings, or they're created by a graphic artist digitally, something like that. They're not real life, they're not a photograph or real actors. And then political, that has something to do with like politicians, our government, maybe current events. So we kind of said like, oh, a political cartoon is a cartoon about like a current event or a politician or something going on in our government. And these political cartoons, typically they are meant to express an opinion. So the artist is trying to share their opinion about a political event or a certain person. And they're just strictly opinions, but they're using certain artistic strategies to get that message across. And our political cartoons that we're creating is about the wonderful Henry VIII. Henry. So many wives that had to die. So to get a little refresher on who Henry VIII was, we're going to listen to this short little song. Some of you may have heard it in class, some of you may not. It is not the Henry version. It's a different one. It's called Divorced, Beheaded, and Died. Let's take a listen to remind us who Henry VIII was.
Terrible Judas. Divorced, beheaded, and died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I'm Henry VIII, I had 6 sorry wives. Some might say I ruined their lives. Catherine of Aragon was one. She failed to give me a son. I had to ask her for a divorce. That broke up her heart, of course. Young Anne Boleyn, she was too. Had a daughter, the best she could do. I said she flirted with some other man, and off with the chop went dear Anne. Lovely Jane Seymour was 3, the love of a lifetime for me. She gave me a son, little Prince Ed, then poor old Jane went and dropped dead. Divorced, beheaded, and died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I'm Henry VIII, I had 6 sorry wives. Some might say I ruined their lives. Anne of Cleves came at 4. I fell for the portrait I saw, then laid eyes on her face and cried, she's a horse. I must have another divorce. Catherine Howard was 5, a child of 19, so alive. She flirted with others, no way to behave. The axe sent young Cath to her grave. Catherine Parr, she was lost. By then all my best days were past. I lay on my deathbed, age just 55. Lucky Catherine, the last, stayed alive. I mean, how unfair. Divorced, beheaded, and died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I'm Henry VIII, I had 6 sorry wives. You could say I ruined their lives. Exciting news! Henry VIII is looking for a new wife.
Oh no.
Horrible histories.
All right, divorced, beheaded, and died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. So, little recap of Henry VIII and some of the things we know about him. So we've watched a few video clips about him, learned about his 6 wives. We read a How They Croaked story to learn about how he was super into jousting, and then how he died. So your job on Wednesday was to create an exaggerated political cartoon using the characteristics that you wrote down in class about Henry VIII. You had a little chart that you were to fill out. On the back, you're going to write an explanation about your cartoon justifying why you drew what you did. So Remember, political cartoons are meant to express an opinion and to put a little humor in there, but they also have to be based in some sort of fact. So here are some real examples about Henry VIII. These are some political cartoons that I found on Google. So if you create these, I'm going to know that you cheated. About Henry VIII, here's one talking to him talking to his second daughter, Elizabeth. Remember Elizabeth? If you can't lick him, burn him. We know that from how they croaked that you got caught talking bad about the king, he might have you burned at the stake. Here's another one. Someone is talking to him saying the dating agency has been in touch. You've been getting less than positive feedback. That's a good one. That's a knee slapper. All right, so this yes ma'am justification. Here's what we're going to do. Think back to Wednesday's lesson and how we created a political cartoon about me. We listed some characteristics about me, some traits, the way I look, some things about my personality, and we also talked about some things that I do in the classroom a lot. I walk around the classroom just singing la la la, and require a lot of coffee to function. So you may even be implying that I drink so much coffee that it makes me hyper and run around the classroom and sing. I don't know. And then we came up with this political cartoon to show me. And we have this exaggerated coffee mug right here, this big red exaggerated coffee mug. It's huge to really show the amount of coffee that I drink on a daily basis, how much I have to consume. And then we have the la 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 to show that that probably makes me hyper and dance and sing around the room, around the classroom. That's probably the opinion that this person is trying to show about me. Then notice the IU t-shirt that I'm wearing. This is actually showing some factual information about me. The political cartoon wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if I had on like an Ohio State or a Purdue shirt. I don't cheer for those teams. I didn't go there for college. I don't even own t-shirts with those schools on them. So that is showing us some sort of factual information that we know about our person that we're creating a political cartoon about. And these are actual factual things too, but it's definitely exaggerated to get an opinion across and to throw a little humor in there. So Miss Constantine's very hyper from all the coffee, and she runs around the room singing and loves IU. So, justification. We're going to use the yes ma'am format for our justification. Those of you who were at DMS last year are familiar with this. Those of you who are new to our totally fine, we're going to get you used to this yes ma'am style of writing. We use yes ma'am anytime we're writing what we call a constructive response or a written paragraph response. And the ma'am stands for me, author, author, me. Or sometimes we say me, answer, answer me. If there's no text for us to cite an author, but we know the information from our knowledge, from our classroom knowledge, from video clips, from a reading we did in class, from notes that we've taken, then it's more of a me, answer, answer me, because we have an author to actually cite. So me is going to be the topic sentence, and that's going to be worth 1 point. And the author, or answer in this case, those are also worth 1 point each. Then the final me statement is a concluding sentence. It's going to kind of wrap up your topic sentence, your 2 supporting answers, and into a nice concluding sentence. So that's 4 points. Then you get a point for grammar, which gives it a total of 5 points. Now let's talk about this word justification here at the top real quick. Justification means that you're trying to prove your point. It's not just explaining, but you're really trying to prove solid your point. So let's say, for example, you come late to class, and me or your other teachers ask you, why are you late to class? And you're like, well, my locker was jammed because my backpack was stuck in the lock. So I had to find a teacher with a locker key. And then when she tried to open it, it was still stuck. So we had a screwdriver and pop the locker open. That's why I wasn't able to be in class on time. So you're explaining that you're also justifying that you have a good reason why you didn't make it to class on time. It's going to be up to your teacher to decide if it's a good reason. I'm not saying that. But you're trying to justify, like, you're right, and this is why I'm right. So that's kind of what we're doing with this political cartoon. You're going to justify why you you're going to justify why you drew the images that you drew. How does this prove that you know something about Henry VIII while throwing a little knee slapper humor in there? So let's take a look at the example. Again, we're thinking about the political cartoon we created about me. So we're going to start with our first M, our topic sentence, our first me. It says, I drew this political cartoon about Miss Constantine to show some characteristics about her. Pretty simple. That's a very simple and to the point topic sentence. I'm going to give that a full full M. Now I'm looking for some evidence, some answers to support that you know things about me. She loves to drink coffee, so I drew a huge coffee mug to exaggerate how much she drinks every day. Okay, so yep, exactly. You are proving that not only do I drink coffee and I drink a lot of it, but then you use the technique of exaggeration to really get that point across of how much I drink coffee. That's accurate. If you would have said she drinks a lot of Pepsi, so I drew a big Pepsi can, that wouldn't be accurate. That would show that you know anything about me because I don't drink Pepsi. So your justification would be completely wrong. But we've got coffee in here, so it's right. Give that one an A. Then I need another answer. In addition, ooh, good transition there. She also loves IU. Therefore, I drew her wearing an IU shirt and her singing because for some reason she thinks she's a really good singer. All right, that is another quality answer for a part of our yes ma'am because it explains that I love IU, again, proving the knowledge of the person you're creating the cartoon about, while also sharing an action that you know I do, but throwing a little humor in there. And then the last one, it needs to be a concluding sentence to kind of wrap up this paragraph. These images show the characteristics of Miss Constantine. And they do. These are all accurate statements about me. They're just exaggerated a little bit to make me seem sillier and kookier than I actually am. So I'm going to give that an A, another M. So I have my MAAM. And let's see, do I have any grammar errors? I don't see any grammatical errors. So I'm going to check. Good there. And so my score is going to be 5 out of 5. So that's what you're going to do for your political cartoon when you're done. So here's how you're going to submit your assignment. You're going to write your yes ma'am justification just on the back of your political cartoon. You should have a blank piece of paper in your social studies folders given to you by your teacher. And on the back of that, that's where you'll write it. If you use both sides because you made a mistake, just find another piece of paper to write it on. But be sure to submit 2 pictures, both a picture of your cartoon and of your yes ma'am response. These 2 things together make up your total 25-point project grade. So we need both pieces. Without the yes ma'am, your grade is going to take a dive. So please be sure to submit both your cartoon and your yes ma'am. You'll submit it in the virtual lessons modules for the week of the 24th through the 28th. Under the 27-28 text header, it's going to be under the Henry VIII political cartoon assignment. So it'll be the last virtual assignment for the week of the 24th, and that's where you will have your submission. Good luck, you guys. Please reach out to your teachers if you need any help, if you have any questions. Again, if you need colored pencils or markers, please reach out to your teacher on that one as well, and we are happy to help you. I hope everyone has a great weekend if I don't get to see you, and we'll welcome you back to school on Monday. Take care.